DevilNeverCry.
If you're a fan of Bury the Light and Devil Trigger, two outstanding tracks from the Devil May Cry series, then you're going to want to pay attention. Casey Edwards, the composer and songwriter for those aforementioned tracks, has recently been teasing a new Devil May Cry related project over on his Twitter account. On December 6th, he posted stating, "So what if I were to write more official music for Devil May Cry?" Considering how many DMC fans liked his musical output, it's obviously no surprise that people were ecstatic. On the other hand, people were curious as to what exactly this new project could be. A week later, he quotes his own tweet stating, "So what if this musical track were with Victor Borber, the vocalist on Bury the Light?" Again, just continuing to throw out those breadcrumbs. It's no surprise that Victor Borber returns, considering Bury the Light and even some of their other non-DMC related tracks like Vacant Surrender being absolute bangers. And that brings us up to Casey Edwards' latest post just under 24 hours ago, where he asks, what if it were to come out really soon? Ever since this latest series of posts, people have been speculating, the rumor mill has been running as to what exactly this could be referring to, which upcoming Devil May Cry project. We have the anime, which we don't know when it's going to be out, but considering that we haven't heard anything else, it would be rather strange for an anime-only track to be teased by the composer themselves without hearing anything from Netflix or the showrunner. Which then brings us onto the only other recent Devil May Cry project, and that is DMC Peak of Combat. During a live stream in which they confirmed that the game would be launching globally, I believe, on January the 10th, 2024, right at the very end of that stream, they also teased a potential new track, stating that Devil Trigger came out in 2019, Bury the Light came out in 2020, but that something else would be appearing in 2024. Considering that they directly called out those tracks by name, and they alluded to something else happening in 2024, alongside with Casey Edwards' posts here, when you put things together, it's quite obvious that this is going to be a new track for the DMC mobile game Peak of Combat. I presume most of you are probably interested and excited to hear exactly what this track's going to be, especially considering Bury the Light and Devil Trigger are already up there with some of the other fan favorites in the series, like Devil's Never Cry or even Shall Never Surrender. On that topic, I've had many of you reach out to me and ask me if I'm still going to be covering Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, especially since I've stopped posting content around it for a few months, despite being somebody who's covered it from its initial reveal back in 2018. And that's largely because after the recent playtest, I wasn't necessarily sure if the game was for me. Having said that, I will be diving back into DMC Peak of Combat at launch, largely because I want to see what state it launches in. And with that, we come to the end of today's brief update on Devil May Cry and this new tease that recently has been making the rounds on social media. If you enjoyed today's video, do be sure to leave a like and of course subscribe to stay up to date with anything and everything Devil May Cry. With all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.